When I was in the fourth grade, I had to make a crucial decision. And this was the decision: Michael or Prince? Michael Jackson or Prince Rogers Nelson? Now, how I came to think that that decision was absolutely necessary, I don't remember. But for some reason in the fourth grade, I was going to either be like Michael or be like Prince. Now, Motown 25, which my mother allowed me to stay up and watch, enabled me to make my decision. I was going to be like Michael. And the other fourth graders seemed to agree. We got back the next day. We all saw Michael Jackson do the moonwalk to Billie Jean on Motown 25, and it was settled. We're going to get those Michael Jackson socks, the Michael Jackson glove, the Michael Jackson penny loafers, and most importantly, the Michael Jackson Beat It jacket. So, Michael, Prince, and you. Michael or Prince, Prince or Michael. The same decision that I was faced with in the fourth grade seemed to be a decision that others had to make on a day when I was on my way to work, listening to the radio, and after Prince's sad departure from this world, there was a tribute to him, and people spoke of him in relationship to Michael, as they tend to do, and I'll get to that later. And so the same question that I posed to myself, the DJ posed to the listeners: who do you think was the greatest musician, Michael or Prince? And it was a very difficult thing to consider, right? And so one of the DJs said, well, Michael was more popular or more famous than Prince in a sense, in terms of his worldwide popularity, though Prince was too. But I like Prince's music better. That's what one of the DJs said. The other DJ said, no, it was Michael. And they went back and forth, and it was very difficult to decide. So callers had to call in and make a decision. So I thought about that. And of course, that took me back to the fourth grade. But then I thought about two other incidents that involved Michael and Prince in terms of a comparison, right? Or in terms of what they achieved as musicians. And I'll paint the picture for you. The first one has to do with MC Hammer, an awesome dancer. I also wanted to emulate him as a boy. But there was a video called Too Legit to Quit, right? In this video, MC Hammer is commissioned, if you will, by none other than James Brown to go and get the glove. And we all knew whose glove James Brown commissioned MC Hammer to go get. It was Michael's glove. Michael's microphone glove, sparkly and shiny. So what was the implication of the video? MC Hammer had reached such dancing prowess that now he was to take his throne as the dancing king. But in order to do that, mind you, he has to usurp Michael Jackson's dancing throne. Now, of course, Michael Jackson didn't respond to said challenge because he was a legend at 7 years old and didn't need to respond, right? Okay. Now we have another situation where Timbaland, the hip hop artist, decided that he was going to do a new recording, right? And he said that his new recording would be better than Purple Rain. I heard this again as I'm driving, and the DJs are quoting him, laughing, as I also laughed, because, again, Prince had already achieved legend status. And though Timbaland's music was good, it hadn't achieved said glory, right? So now it leads us back to Michael and Prince. And we will eventually get to how this relates to you and to me. What we're seeing with Michael and Prince is that they had achieved a level of creativity by which they also achieved incomparability. In other words, They become like God because God is incomparable. As it is written, when Moses asked God what his name was and what he should tell the Israelites, God simply said, I am who I am. He simply is who he is. He's incomparable. So, Michael, he is Michael. He has a style unlike any other musician or artist we've ever encountered. The same is true with Prince. So you can't really compare them to each other, and you can't compare them to anyone else. They have their own distinct style. And you know it when you hear it, you know it when you see it. You think of Michael Jackson, you already got something in mind in terms of the kind of clothes he used to wear. As Steve Harvey said very humorously, he always had a lot of patches and equipment, right? And the kind of clothes Prince had, with a lot of ruffles and androgynous implications, right? But they weren't trying to be unique or original. In fact, we can trace their influences. We can see that Michael was influenced by James Brown, and I think Jackie Wilson is the musician's name. But if you watch videos of when Michael Jackson was a boy, he dances like James Brown, like Jackie Wilson. He's doing what kids do. They imitate. And C.S. Lewis mentions imitation as a road to originality. Prince, clearly influenced by Jimi Hendrix. But there came a point in which both of them came into their own. And you could no longer point to even their influences because they became influential by becoming incomparable, right? So, what God showed me in thinking about this is that God, in making us in his image and likeness, has given all of us an incomparable personality, nature, character, like his. So, for example, I am Olatunde, the second son of Edward and Georgia. There is no other second son of Edward. And no second son of Edward could have come about without the combination of Edward and Georgia. I am Olatunde, the husband of Lucy, the father of Matthias, Britannia, Acacia, Uriah, Colessus, Andromeda, and Atticus. I am the only husband of Lucy, and the only father of her 7 children, and no other brother could have brought about those 7 children. And no other sister could have done that for me either. See that? So, I already have an incomparable nature, and thus I'm already like God. I don't have to try to be like God in the way that the serpent deceived Eve when he told her, if you do this, then you'll be like God. Or even how Satan approached Jesus when he says, if you're the Son of God, turn these stones to bread. If you're the Son of God, cast yourself down from the temple. See, he was saying they had to do something to be like God. But we don't, right? In fact, Lucifer was already the light bearer. And, some theologians question whether that passage is about Satan and Lucifer. But for right now, just let me do it. Okay, let me just make the point, right? In the passage attributed to Lucifer, who many think became Satan, right? You have the 5 I will statements. And one of the statements that Lucifer makes is, I will make myself like the Most High. I will make myself like the Most High. So he was rejecting his maker, who had made Lucifer, the light bearer, like the maker, who is light, and saying he'll make himself like the Most High. So that would be like Matthias, my son, making himself Matilda, my daughter. Right? So Matthias decides, I'm not going to be your son. I'm going to be your daughter or something other, something uncategorizable. Now note, when Lucifer decided to be something that God didn't make him to be, in a perverted sense, in a kind of bizarro world, alternate universe sense, he was like God, uncategorizable, right? So if Matthias decided to become Matilda, he would be something that was not conceived of in the mind of God, right? Think about that. But while you think about that, think about the main point. When I think of Michael, Prince, you, and me, I think that the reason we honor them so much and we're so enamored with them is because they give us glimpses of reaching the zenith of originality or authenticity, I would say, like C.S. Lewis spoke up. Because C.S. Lewis basically said that we stumble upon originality through honesty. Meaning, when you and I simply tell the truth to the best of our ability, we will stumble upon originality. We'll say something that nobody else has said. We'll do something that nobody else has done, but not because we're trying to. You see what I'm saying? So, I thank God that He made Michael Jackson. I thank God that He made Prince. And I thank God that He made you. Because you, just like Michael, just like Prince, give me a glimpse of something that God is that no one else could give me if it were not for you. So, simply be what God made you to be. Simply do what God made you to do. And you will be just as incomparable as Michael and Prince. Thank you for listening.